Hey y'all, welcome to the Fill-In Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and what's interesting today is the VIX is an inside day candle and it has already reached its target to the downside. So I have pre-market support around here at this 2301 area and resistance around here at the 2402 or 2412 area. So let's say if by chance, so it's 2401. So if by chance we break above this 2401, just know we are probably going to have trouble around the 2499 area. Above 2499, we'll probably have trouble around the 2540 area. 2544. If we break the 2544, just know the ATR trailing stop is right here at the 2557. So we could probably test this, get rejected and come back, or we can continue climbing. So beyond the 2557 area, just know that the 50 EMA, let me get my words right, the 50 EMA, it's right here at 2768. So above 2768, we can come back and retest this high of 2966. Now, if by chance we get above this 2966, it will be concerning, right? Because the inside day trigger is at 3482. Above 3482, we can come back and retest 3857. But to see where the target is for this inside day candle is interesting. Let's see. Yes, so above the 3482 give us a target of 6573. So because of this, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to say it would not surprise me to see the SPY come back down today based on this information for the inside day candle. But for the VIX, and again, anything is possible in the market, but nothing is guaranteed. So those are trouble places for the VIX to the upside. Now, can we continue moving to the downside? We very well can. So if we break under this 2249 area, just know that we do have support around the 2136. And again, at 2064, under the 2064, 2008, and again around 2001 or $20 range, right? So those are places that I would definitely watch for the VIX. Now, for the SPY, and what's interesting about the SPY that I want to point out from yesterday, we marked the pre-market support and resistance for the gathering spot, right? So look how price bounced off of this, moved up only to come back down to the gathering spot. That's why it's important that we mark these areas to know that this is a possibility that we could very well come back to this area, right? So yesterday, again, bounced off of this 519 to make a high of 529.75, which I had around 529.35 as resistance, and it seems like we broke through that area only to come back and close under 529.12, which is an area of resistance that I had marked for the SPY. So yeah, it didn't surprise me to see us, here, but to get rejected and come back to the gathering spot. I see that often, that sometimes price will run up, but by the end of the day, we tend to come back to where buyers and sellers tend to meet. Let's see that, the gathering spot. So yeah, I wanted to point that out this morning. So where are our trouble places for the SPY today? What's interesting is that we hit 528.60 yesterday. We hit it again today. Right now, that's a trouble place for us. So this is our gathering spot as of right now. Pre-market support 527.57. Resistance, I'm going to leave it here at this 528.60. SPY would need to break above this 528.60 area. Just know we will have trouble at 529.08, again at 529.40, and this 200 EMA at 529.72. Those are going to be trouble places for us for the SPY to the upside. If we break the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart up to 529.72, just know we can have trouble at 529 or 530.02, again at 530.26 and 530.54. 530.75. Those are going to be areas for, trouble places for the SPY to the upside. Now to the downside, we will need to break under this 527.57. If we should break that area, just know we can come back and probably find support around the 526.98, which is really close to this 20 EMA, which is right here at 526.87. Under the 526.87, we can come back and find support right here around the 525.84. Under 525.84, just know that the 50 EMA is right here at 525.21, which is close to a previous gathering spot here around the 524.95. So SPY can move in either direction today, and please know that the ATR trailing stop is all the way down here at 523.77. Now if by chance we break past this 523.77, just know that we can come back to 522.49, or let me go back, 523.15 or 523.24 area, and then down to the 522.49. So those are going to be trouble places for the SPY to the upside and to the downside. And keep in mind, SPY still has some downside gaps to fill, and again, anything is possible. Yesterday we did test this area. It can bounce, or we can come all the way back to where we were, right back down in this 510, 514, 505 is, or 506 is the daily support on the I think it's the 200 EMA on the daily chart. Let's go see. Let's see where we are. It's 506.12 now, so we could very well come, which is where a gap fill area is. It's probably hard, yes. So the 200 EMA is right here, 506.12 is that area, and we have a gap fill that we did not fill from this candle here. So there's a gap that needs to be filled, and it wouldn't surprise me. We got rejected off of this 5 EMA here. Again, looking at it on this daily chart, we did get rejected here. So the SPY should be interesting. Just know that the VIX is an inside day candle, so the VIX kind of give us an idea of what's going on with the SPY. We will come back to that as a recap, right? So we are now looking at Tesla, and Tesla too is an inside day candle. So we did test this 202.90. If we break that area, just know 203.88 is our target, and if by chance we break under this 192.67, then 182 is our downside target. Let me make sure I have that. 182 is our downside target for Tesla. Yes, so where are trouble places for Tesla as of right now? So if we break under where we are now, which is around the 200 level, 268. I noticed yesterday that Tesla was struggling in that area. As you can see here, price just, even though we came up here, we still had a lot of sellers here. There's a lot of wicks in this area. So Tesla was struggling, in my opinion, at that 200 area. So at 258, if we break this level, our trouble places back to the downside, or for support, I will watch the 200.03. Under the 200.03, 199.75 or 199.70 area, I would watch that area, and I would watch the 198.85. Just know that if we break that area, 198.85, we can have trouble around the 198.39. Under 198.39, we can come back to 197.75. Under 197.75, we can come back to 196.96. Under 196.96, we can come back to 196.37. Under 196.37, it can bring us back down to the 195.13, which is really close to this ATR trail and stop at 194.89. So if you trade Tesla today, I always say trade carefully and trade cautiously, right? So in the market, anything is possible. So don't get caught on the wrong side of the trade. Let's say that. So again, the downside target before the inside day, if we break 192.67, then the 182 here is the target to the upside above the 202.90. Above the 202.90 area, then the upside target was 203.88. So again, Tesla normally moves, let's see how much on average, $14.21, and Tesla and the SPY is one that I chart often, so these charts may be a little congested. And again, Tesla normally moves $14.21 per day, and that's in either direction. So if you trade Tesla today, I say trade carefully. Again, anything is possible. So let's go to AMD, and AMD is trading in a gathering spot, as we can see here. Pre-market support I will mark here at 132.08 area. Resistance is around the 132.60, which is a previous resistance area. We did make this high here of 132.89, so it looks like it's trying to break out of this area here, 132.97, around this area. It seems like it's trying to create another, price came up but it came back down. So again, I would watch 132.06 and then the 132.60. Beyond that, just know we can have trouble at the 132.97. Beyond the 132.97, 133.06. Beyond the 133.06, 133.56, and past the 133.56, just know 133.94 is where the ATR trailing stop, which is right close to a previous gathering spot of 134, or resistance area 134.15. So those are places to the upside that I will watch for AMD. And just know, if we break the 134.11, we can come here and have trouble at 135.51, 135.54, and again at this 200 EMA at 136.35. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for AMD. Now, if by chance we break under 132.08, just know that we can come back and test 131.58. Under 131.58, we can come back to the 130.73. Under 130.73, we can come all the way back to 129.72, and under the 129.72, 129.02. Under 129.02, I would watch the 128.59, and under the 128.59, we can come back to this low of 128. So those are places to the upside and to the downside for AMD. And let's see how much it is moving on average now, $8.59. Again, in either direction. Trade carefully today. Anything is possible in the market, let me say that. So let's go to NVDA, and we have a lot of inside day candles. I did a previous video on that to show some of those. And today, NVIDIA is trading in this gathering spot, previous gathering spot here of 105.08. We're still in that zone. And 106.24. As you can see here, price has been just gathered here in this area. It looks like we broke out of that. So right now, the 106.24 is our support, and the 200 EMA is our resistance, which is right here at 107.16, 107.20 area. So I would definitely watch this area, 107.14 area, for NVIDIA, because it did test this 200 EMA twice, and we could very well break through that. So where are our trouble places? As of right now, the 106.46 is our support. Our resistance is 107.14. Above that, we can come back and retest, 107.74. Above the 107.74, 108.48 is the key level, or 108.52 is a strong level that I have marked for NVIDIA. If we break above that, we can come back to the 109.25. Above the 109.25, 109.87. Those are places to the upside that I would watch NVIDIA. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break under 105.83, under 105.83, we could come back to 105.32. Under 105.32, I'm going to remove that. Under 105.32, we can come back to 105.07, which is right here where the 20 EMA is 105.30. So I will watch those areas kind of like as a strong support, because yeah, we could find support here and just bounce, or we can continue to the downside for NVIDIA. Under 105.07, just know that we can come back to the 104.42, which is the 50 EMA, and under that we can come back to the 104 area. So I would definitely watch NVIDIA in the 104. Under the 104, we can come back to 103.86. Under 103.86, 103.40. Under 103.40, I would watch the 102.67 or the 102.42 area. Those are going to be trouble places for NVIDIA, to the upside and to the downside. Again, anything is possible. Make sure that you have confirmation as to why you're entering your trades, and once it goes against your why, get out. I always say live to trade another day, right? So Google is an inside day candle. We have already broke through that trigger, and that's GOOG. We've already broken through that trigger to the upside above the 162.38. Gives us an target today of 165.94. And if by chance we break under this level down here of 150, 158.13. Under the 158.13 gives us a downside target of 156.60. So GOOG is an inside day candle. We've already broken through the trigger to the upside. So can we continue climbing? We very well can, or we can get rejected and go back to the downside. So just know that our inside day target today is around the 165.94 area. So if it decides to continue up, that is the direction that I would be looking to have some type of trouble or price target. Let's say that, right? So GOOGL is also an inside day candle. It too has broken through the trigger level for that. So the target today for GOOGL is 164. Let's see, 164.43. And if by chance we come back to the downside, because look, you can see here it bounced off this ATR trail and stop. It is possible. If we come back to the downside under 156.33, we can come back to the 154.83 area. So under 156.41 gives us a downside target of 154.83. So if you trade GOOGL, Google, Alphabet, I say trade carefully. Those are the targets, inside day targets for today. Again, anything is possible. MU is an inside day candle. It has already broken through that and reached the trigger pre-market, reached the target pre-market. So the trigger was around $90.86. We've already reached that target of $92.49 pre-market. Here you go. We see that here, and it is continuing to climb. So with MU, just know that we could have trouble around the 94.15 area. Above the 94.15, we can come all the way back to this 96.79 is where the 200 EMA is on this 30-minute chart. So if you trade MU, I say trade carefully. Now, if by chance we break under the 87.15, let's see, the downside target is 84.79 for MU. So under 87.15 gives us a downside target of 84.79. So those are going to be trouble places for MU, which is an inside day candle. So again, I always say trade carefully, right? I think Z is an inside day candle. It is above 43.50 gives us a target of 43.67. Below 42.15 gives us a target of 41.72. So if you trade Z today, it is an inside day candle, and ZM or Zoom is an inside day candle also. If it breaks above 56.71, target to the upside 56.91. Under 55.62 gives us a downside target of 55.55. Those are targets for Zoom. ZM, if you trade Zoom today, again, I say trade carefully. It only moves $1.51 per day, and that can be in either direction. I always say, y'all, trade carefully, because just when you think it's going to do something, your charts it could change at any moment, right? So that's why it's important to learn the charts and pay attention to when to get in and when to get out. Learn your signals, right? So again, SPY is having trouble here at this 528.60 area. So I would watch this level for the SPY. And if we continue, to the upside, just know, again, 529.11, 529.36, 529.72 are going to be trouble places to the upside. Now to the downside, 527.17, 526.85. Those are places that I would watch to the downside. Again, I did make the point of it coming back to the gathering spot. So again, it wouldn't surprise me to see SPY back in the 520 and 520.97 and the 520.54. Again, I just trade carefully today. I'd say that. Yeah, I hope these videos, y'all, are very, very helpful. If you could, please, I hope that everyone have a very productive day. Let me say that first. A very prosperous day, a very, profitable day today. And I always like to say that we learn and we grow together. So if you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, again, because we learn and we grow together. So I hope that everyone have a very, very productive day. And I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.